Hi, I'm Christine Herman of Herman's Quality Meat Shop in Newark, Delaware. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about brisket. In particular, the point, or the brisket point. That's what we're going to be talking about and focusing on today. Are you ready? All right. This is a brisket that has already been prepared and trimmed in a good portion of the process of trimming it down. You can see that it is pretty well trimmed, not exactly prepared for smoking, more prepared for pot roast. And even though we did take a lot of the fat off, you may even leave some more fat on for pot roasting. However, we've done another video on brisket, and you watched me break it down from the bone all the way down to this point. But what I want to focus on in this particular video is this particular point. So that is this section right here. And we've talked about this as a whole muscle. This is the brisket itself, is the breast of the animal, the steer. And I am going to cut into this fat. And I am actually just going to remove the point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the separation or the seam between the flat, what's called the flat portion, and the point. And I'm going to remove the point because it has its own properties. And you can kind of see, actually before I do that, I do want to show you carefully in the video. Hopefully you can see how the grain is running in this direction and then the point is running in slightly opposite direction. And that can sometimes be a challenge for folks that are cutting this, because you always want to cut against the grain, and then it makes it a little awkward. But that's okay, because you can figure that out as you go along, or you can take the point off if you smoke it. Most people like to smoke their brisket with the point on, or what they'll do is they'll take the point off and they're going to make burnt ends with it. And that's what we're going to talk about today in this video. And we're going to be preparing this particular portion of the brisket for burnt ends. And you're probably wondering to yourself, what in the world are burnt ends? Well, if you've never heard of them, we call them here in our store beef candy when they're finished. And we're going to do this in segments. And the first segment is trimming off this particular portion, which is, as I said, what we call the point. And it kind of wraps around the flat of the brisket itself. And there's a nice heavy layer of fat in between. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing here, just like this. And it just comes, watch that, off, just that, like that. And here's the brisket. We're just going to set this aside. Well, I'll put it up here so you can see it, and it's got this extra piece of fat here, and I would normally trim more of that off, as you can see. And we're just going to leave that right there for you to kind of keep an eye on. But here's the other portion, what I call, or what we call, the point. And I'm going to take a little more of this fat off. It is ideal for smoking. I'll tell you what. It is an underrated piece of meat because, as you can see, all this delicious fat and marbling is quite amazing. However, you want to trim some of it off, and there's this section right here I don't like, so I'm going to take this little bit off. Most of the work's already been done ahead of time just to save a little bit of time, because this particular process takes several steps. So first we trim it, and then second we're going to season it and let it marinate overnight. Then I'm going to put it in the smoker for a slow roast, and then once it's to temperature, I'm going to cut it up into bite-sized delectable pieces, and then I'm going to marinate it again, and I'm going to put it back into my smoker with a marinade and a barbecue sauce sorts, and just let it caramelize. So that's basically the steps that are involved in this process. But we're just going to do, for this particular moment, just show you this section right here. I'm going to take this little piece of fat off right there just for the fun of it. So right now, and then we'll reconvene. So there's your point. And if you look, you can see easily the fat that runs through. And there is some gristle and less desirable in there. But once it is cooked the way I'm going to show you, it is amazing. Okay, so anyway, enough about that. I am going to now season this. I'm actually going to be right back. Piece of paper. Sorry about that. You might be able to see it even a little bit better like that. And a lot of folks make their own rubs or they buy them. We sell several different types of rubs here in our store. This one I am particularly fond of. And I'm just going to sprinkle it on and kind of rub it in just like that. And I'm going to let this marinate overnight. And I'm going to do both sides. Put that down a second. See how it tapers off nicely right there also. And I'm just going to rub this in. You could use as much or as little as you like. It's strictly up to you. I like to give it a nice little coating, but you don't want to literally coat it with and make it almost like a crust. That's not necessary. But again, you can. It's strictly up to you. So I think that's a nice little amount right there. Okay, we're going to let this marinate overnight and we'll be back with the next steps. So it has been a couple days and we have been marinating our brisket and our brisket point. And we made several brisket points and we are going to share with you some pictures of the step-by-step process that we go through to explain how this delicious piece of meat turns into an even better, delectable piece. And the brisket point has more marbling and more fat content in it. And when it is slowly smoked and roasted and cut into small cubes, it ends up tasting so amazing. And you can see by the pictures how we have prepared it. We've smoked it, and then I cut it into cubes, and I have barbecued it yet again. And after it has been barbecued and back in the smoker, it has turned into these delicious pieces of what we call beef candy. And I'm going to show you how lovely they look in a bowl. They are perfect and ideal for any occasion. You can eat them anywhere from cold to hot. Sometimes I don't even wait for them to warm up because they are just that amazing. And these little cubes that we cut up, as you can see, and the sauce is on my hands, these amazing little cubes that are just perfect for snacking anytime, day or night, whether it's for an occasion or whether you just need a little appetizer, a toothpick, voila. Beef candy. It's the best. It's a time-consuming process that we enjoy doing so that you don't have to. And I have no doubt that you will love our beef brisket tips, or another word is burnt ends. You've probably heard that term as well. Burnt ends or burnt brisket tips. Delicious. Amazing. Try them. We make them, we keep them fresh, and we also freeze them. They freeze really well, and again, you can eat them right out of the freezer if you get good strong teeth. But anyway, just teasing. Totally delicious. So I hope you will give them a try sometime. Thank you. So my kitchen tip today is about protecting the shelves in your kitchen cabinets as well as in your refrigerator. Not everybody likes to do that. I happen to be a fan of protecting. Maybe I overprotect. I don't know. Maybe that's the mom in me. What can I say? But anyway, I like to line my kitchen cabinets, and I like to line the shelves in my refrigerator. And it serves a couple different purposes for me. One, it helps me to just kind of keep things neat and organized. It keeps in the cabinets, it keeps things from sliding around. So if I set something down like a package of some sort or can, then they don't move. And I like that neat and organization. And in your kitchen cabinets, you can use a variety of things. One is something store-bought like this kind of fabric, rubbery, that helps to keep your dishes in place, that I like to use. And this one is actually right from my cabinet, so you can see it's cut to size. But anyway, that's one. And there's all different things you can buy, shelf liners and so on. The other thing that I use in my refrigerator is the plastic liner. And I like this plastic liner in particular because it makes for easy cleanup. And your refrigerator can, you put jars and dishes and bowls and pots and pans maybe, but also you put produce, onions, meat, other things like that, and sometimes you get a little messy, sometimes something might leak or bleed. You can just wipe this up, and it also helps just to kind of keep things from spreading out on the shelves in your refrigerator. So I like this in particular. The onion skins, sometimes they come off, or the eyes of the potato, and next thing you know, but I like to use this anyway. So there's a couple different options that you could use in your refrigerator in particular. This is a placemat. It may sound like a silly idea, but if you've used your placemat and it's maybe even if it's stained and I hate to throw it away, how can I repurpose it? You can put this in your refrigerator and basically line your main shelves with a placemat, and it does the same thing. Or you can take, like, these are just thin dish towels, and they act as the same purpose, and they just keep things nice and neat, and again, for easy cleanup. And for me, it keeps the glass dishes from scratching the glass shelves in the refrigerator. So that's my kitchen tip. I hope that was helpful. I hope it wasn't a silly idea, but give it a try. Why not, right? Thank you very much. I hope that you will subscribe to our channel and like this particular video and be part of our Herman's family. Thank you so much. Our brisket tips are amazing. They're good anytime, for any occasion, whether it's a sporting event or just having company, or you just want to have a little snack before dinner. Heck, you could even make a sandwich with them if you want, or serve them over pasta. Possibilities are endless, but there are burnt brisket tips. Give them a try sometime. And remember to like our channel, subscribe please, and give us a thumbs up, and any comments you have, we'd appreciate. Thank you so much. Christine Herman, staff.